Guys and girls, it's know it time!
Alright guys and girls, so today I'm going to be teaching you how to graph. That's your lesson today, how to graph. All this time I've been teaching the math behind trig, the ratios, but now most of your stuff will come from graphing. How to graph. Now there's there's 6 graphs you have to learn how to work with. You have 3 days to master 6 graphs. 6 graphs, you can master all 6. Okay. Chosha cow? Oh yeah, Chosha cow.
It's technically 3.
Okay. So I'm going to start with the simplest one. And we'll do this sine theta, or sine x. So my first graph, I'm going to do is y equals to sine theta. Okay, nothing too bad. Now, I can sit here all day, plug in points into charts, and then you plot little points and you form a nice curve. But I don't have time all day to do that, guys and gals. So I'm going to show you what a sine graph looks like, and I want you to focus on key points. So I have a program running in the background, and this is an actual sine graph right here. So sine graph starts here, goes all the way up, and goes all the way down, and then goes up again. And you've probably seen this in TV commercials or whatever when they talk about electronic stuff and they show you this nice wave. So this is called sine graph. It doesn't matter how far I go along, it repeats itself over and over and over again. So we're going to draw a few things down. I'm going to show you some labels. Okay? So let's draw a little grid. Sine graph. A sine graph starts at the center line. This is a few key points you need to know about sine graph. Star. Not yet. Starts at the center line. That's the sine graph. Starts at the center line. So here's how it works. A sine graph starts at the center line. It goes from down here, and what it does is it goes all the way up to a certain point. I'm going to show you what those point is in a second, and it goes back all the way down to the middle, and finally it goes up again. It should be a nice curve. Mine doesn't look that nice, but you can't imagine. Okay. Now, here's some points. So if I look at the sine graph, see, this is the nice curve it should look like, right there. Down and up. When you work with a sine graph, you need to know a few key points. Number 1, the highest point on the sine graph is going to be 1. That's all you're going to worry about. The lowest point on the sine graph is -1. Now, I'm going to draw another cycle. Okay, so let's draw 2 cycles. It repeats itself. So this occurs over and over again. Keeps on going. There's no stopping to the sine graph. But I'm just going to highlight the first part for you. This is called the ending point right here. This end point, again, you got to memorize these points. This is called 2 pi. That's all you really need to know. Your start and your finish. Okay. Some of you said, Mr. No, what about these points in here? Do you have to memorize it? The answer is no. You can actually get these points based on simple math. This here is 0. This is 2 pi. So Nisha, guess what halfway must be? 1 pi. That's 1 pi. Okay, that's all there is. But you got to know a few more points. 1 here and 1 here. I'm going to pause it and let you try to figure out what those points. All right, guys, here we go. This looks like it's halfway from 0 to pi. There's no tricks to it. Kieran, what's halfway between 0 to pi? Pi by 2 is correct. This is a bit more challenging now. This part's right here. That's not 3 pi by 2. So here's how you do this. Every time you're stuck, this is going to be coming really handy. This is one of the most useful formulas you can ever have on trig, star. This is called the average formula. Average. To do the average of any 2 points, let's say you got 10 on exam. Your friend has 20 on exam. Gary, what's halfway between 10 and 20? 15. So we did that by, we can go, you take x1 plus x2. But we got to do something more with that. Divide by 2. See, this point right here is halfway between pi and 2 pi. So why don't we add these together and divide it by 2? So this becomes pi plus 2 pi divided by 2. And that's the exact reason why this is 3 pi by 2. Because when you work with sine, everything is based on symmetry. Remember that. All you really need is a start and a finish. The rest you can figure out on your own. I'm going to show you the reason why you need that later. But guys and gals, so this is called your thing. Now I'm going to highlight a few more things. Highlight this yellow line right here. This is another key line. The book calls this line many different terms. I'm going to call this line right here. This is your center line. Now, every teacher calls it a different thing. I call it a center line because this line chops the graph horizontally into 2 even pieces. That's it. You're going to need to know some more terminologies. From here, to the center line. There's a term for that. If you're in physics, you would have studied this when you study waves. Not the crest. Nope. Oh, amplitude. That's the amplitude. How many took physics before? Physics 11, 12? You haven't learned this? No? Yeah. This is called amplitude.
Oh, I remember this too.
Okay. And I'm going to give you a few definitions. Amplitude. Oh, you did? Amplitude is the distance from highest or lowest point. Okay? Is either distance from high or lowest point to the center line. That's called your amplitude. So I can also draw an amplitude from here. This is all amplitude. Doot, doot. That's the definition of amplitude. No tricks, no nothing. Amplitude is the distance from the highest, lowest point to the center line. Okay. So far we got center line, amplitude. Actually I'm going to leave it alone for now. I'm going to give you another question. Y equals to sine x. We know what that looks like already. I'm going to change it a bit. Guys, what I want you to do is draw a fresh graph of y equals to sine x without looking at your old one. Let's see how we can do this from scratch without looking at anything but your memory. Okay. And label the y and the x. Try to do this from scratch now. You have to be able to draw a sine graph from memory. I'm going to pause it. So your graph should look something very like this. Keep it simple. How high, how low, doesn't really matter. What I'm really interested in is, can you do the basics for me? Bikram, what's the highest point? Monica, what's the lowest point? -1. Okay. Randy, what's the ending point? 2 pi. All this. Camille, what's halfway? Whoa. Okay, let's do 3 pi by 2. This is 3 pi by 2. This is pi. Yep. And this is pi by 2. That was easy. Now, I'm going to give you a new equation. I'm going to change, if you have a different color, now's the best time to use your different color. Y equals to sine x plus, let's say, 2. Actually, I'm going to change it to plus 1. That's the reason why. Change to plus 1. I want you to circle or highlight this plus 1 part. This is the only new thing there is. Everything stays the same. How does adding that plus 1 change the graph? And the best way to show you this is through a little animation. So I'm going to cover this up first. Yep. Here I'm going to go sine x plus 1. Preview. And I'm going to hit graph. Compare the two graphs. The green is plus 1. Yeah. Look, the main thing is, look where the center line is now. Where's your center line originally? It's at 0. Where's the center line now? 1. Everything stays the same. Only thing that changes, really, is your center line. Okay, that's okay. It shifts your whole graph up. So let's write a few things down. Let's draw it in. Plus 1 moves the graph up / down. If it's positive, I go up. So the best way to do this?
Doesn't move the graph, doesn't move the center line.
Potato? French fries. So guys, watch. I want you to draw your new center line. Draw it here. See, my center line now starts at 1. It's not 0 anymore. My amplitude hasn't changed. Look at your original graph. Megan, I haven't talked to you for a while, Megan. What is the amplitude of this graph, Megan? Whoa. Amplitude is distance, remember?
Oh, okay.
1. So amplitude is 1. My amplitude hasn't changed. So guys, what you're going to do is, if I'm starting here now, what is the highest spot you can be? If 2. So I want you to, I'm going to say this right here is going to be 2. Okay. Notice every of these key points shift. Draw in my new graph right now. So take a minute, just draw it in. This again, there's very little math. It's all about understanding concepts. So now, it goes right here. My lowest point is going to be at 0. And just draw a nice rough sketch. So watch what I'm going to do. Nice rough sketch. See? My lowest point is not at -1 anymore, but it's at 0. This is how we sketch this graph. Do I need to draw the original? The answer is no. I can go straight from here, right off the bat. Hotshots, I want you to try this. Y equals to sine theta minus 99. I have 99 problems. Get cracking. Guys. Powerful. Draw a grid. Draw a center line. It doesn't matter where your center line is. I want you to label this as -99 right away. Oh. I want you to label that as -99 right away. See? So I'm going to say, but Mr. -99 is down here. It doesn't really matter where -99 is labeled, as long as you know this is -99. If this is -99, I want you to draw on your sine graph right now. Just draw the shape of it. Keep it nice and simple. So let's draw my sine graph. So you go up, down, up. My amplitude has not changed. Bana, what's the highest point going to be? -98 is correct. Because the highest point is 1 away. Because my amplitude hasn't changed. I'll show you how to change that later. The lowest point, Jasmine, what's the lowest point going to be? -100. My x value stays the same, and you just label this as 2 pi, 3 pi by 2, and pi by 2. Is it that hard? No, not really. It's just a basic understanding. What's one higher, what's one lower. So there's a little, this Microsoft Math has a neat function. So I input the formula y equals sine x plus c. It shows you what happens when you change c from 0 to 2. Look what happens. Whoop. Where the heck did it go? Oh, well, hang on. Whoa. Oh, how come it's not working?
You might graph this on a calculator too, right?
You could. Oh, there it is. See, look at that. As c gets bigger, the graph just shifts up. Okay, that's what a little c does. So, guys, 1 done. That's how you change your vertical displacement x. Y equals to 2 sine x. And notice one thing. I've been working with radians. I have never touched degrees ever, because degrees does not work here anymore. 2 sine x. So, again, the number 2 is in front. So let's draw this out. I'll show you a diagram, and you can tell me what that little 2 does. What does it change? Okay, I'm going to input the formula in, and you're going to actually tell me how it changes it. Graph. So I'm going to input it as a sine x. Graph. And look what happens when a changes from 0 to 2. Okay. So look what happens to the amplitude. It goes up. So that number, really, that's your amplitude value. This is your amplitude value. Amplitude. If I were to compare my graph, see, notice one thing. My amplitude here is at 2 now. This is at 1. So this is, that is your amplitude. So again, label. Number 1. Notice there's no number behind here. So my vertical line, or my center line, is still the same thing. It's at 0, because I didn't change anything yet. It's going to be, Monica, what's the highest point? Brian, what's the lowest point? -2. 2, -2. From what I just saw when you did the diagram. 2 pi, and you got to learn how to label this. This is what I'll be asking for. Pi by 2. Is that easy? It's that easy, yeah. I'm going to merge it together. Good luck. Y equals to 2 sine x minus 50. I'm going to pause it and let you hear it. So guys, you will, but I have to teach you codes first. This is your amplitude. Okay. This is your center line. Oh, one more thing, star. Amplitude can never be negative. I've seen a lot of students fall for this trick. Never be negative. Okay. This is called your vertical displacement. The correct term is called vertical displacement. It's also where your center line occurs. So guys, when you sketch this out, pretty simple, nothing too bad. Draw it out. Just Kieran, where's your center line at? -50. That's also known as the vertical displacement. Okay. Just what's the highest point going to be? -48 is correct. See? Just sketch it. Very nice, easy sketch. -48, -52. Keep it simple. A bit more tricky this time. Y equals to negative sine x. Again, look at this. This is a negative. Okay. There's no numbers here, so here's how this negative works. To show you how this negative works, I'm going to show you and you're going to see what happens. Let's say we'll call this negative sine x. Graph. How does the negative sign affect the graph? Look at the green sign. It flips it. See? It just flips it upside down. So we're going to write this down. This negative sign flips it over the x-axis. In other words, it's called a reflection. So guys, I'm going to give you a question. Y, I'm going to merge it together now. Negative 2 sine, actually, negative 2 is too boring. Negative, let's make it exciting. 25 sine x plus 6. Before you start, tell me what the amplitude is equal to. I want to tell me, is there a reflection, yes or no? And then tell me what is my vertical displacement, up or down, and you can tell me how much. Once you finish that, you're going to sketch the graph, get crack-lacking. So if in case you're lost, Zenat, what's your amplitude going to be? Oh, sorry, my ears. 25. Amplitude cannot be negative whatsoever. Reflection, that's over the x-axis. Ryan, up or down? Down how many? Nope, down 6. This is your vertical displacement number. It's also the center line. Oh, sorry, this is not down 6. This is up 6. Why am I listening to you, Ryan? It's like Mr. No, never take advice from Ryan. Up 6. So guys, now, when you draw this, other teachers have many different ways of drawing. Some teachers, what they do is they ask you to draw 6 different graphs and change it one by one slowly. But we don't have to do that. We just do it from straight to beginning with. This is a 6 right here. And we go 25 higher, 25 lower. Robert, what's 25 higher? 31. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. And just draw a whoa, something's wrong if I do that. Ah, look at there, that's a reflection. So it has to go down to Chinatown. See? That's how the graph looks like. And this is going to be at negative 19. There's another word they'll teach you. What is the range going to be? Range. No. Range is from negative 19 to 31. So we're going to write this down. Y is between negative 19 and 31. That's the range. Because that's your range. That's what it is. Guys, gals, cos graph. And then after this, I'm going to give you a supernova question for today. And that's all we're going to do. To cos graph. Cos graph, I need you to write down big star. Star does not start at the center line. This is where people get mixed up. Start at the center line. It starts at the highest or lowest position. Never the center line. This is where students always make mistakes when it comes to cos graph. That's the only difference between a sine and cos. It depends where you're starting from. I'm going to show you a cos graph, and we're going to draw this out. Okay? So here's what a cos graph looks like, and you can compare this to a sine graph. So let's go cos x. And you're going to hit graph. Look at this. A sine graph starts at the center line. Cos graph starts at 1. And it goes all the way back up. So let's draw our little graph. And all you're going to do, choose a starting point somewhere up here. Doesn't matter where. And it goes, see, I go straight down. It doesn't go down right away. It curves, very curves. And it goes up, 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 up. Curves. That's called cos graph. I want you to label 1, 0. It's the same labeling as the sine graph. Label your ending. It's the same thing. This is 2 pi, pi, 3 pi by 2, and this is pi by 2. Guys and gals, that's the difference between sine and cos graph. Here is your question. Not super know yet. Y equals to negative 3 cos. You do the exact same thing I've been teaching you as for sine. x minus 5. Tell me what your amplitude is. What is your reflection, vertical displacement, and sketch? Quick and dirty. Very simple stuff. I'm going to pause it. And I'm going to what's your amplitude? 3. Very simple. Nisha, is there a reflection? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Yes, x-axis.
Wait, that's a reflection or range?
Oh, this is reflection. Range, I'll do it later. This is an x-axis reflection. Vertical displacement. Who haven't asked here? Meeny, money, mo. Camille, vertical displacement. Or -5, or are you going to say down 5? Doesn't really matter how you want to say it. Now, when you sketch the graph, sketching is the easy part. Again, I label my center line. Let's make this a bit longer. And notice we're not starting up there more because there's a negative. We're going to start all the way down. But before we do that, we know this is -5. Just Kieran, what's the lowest point you can go? Sorry? We know -5 is your middle line. What's the lowest point you can have? -8 is correct. Irish, what's the highest point you can have? -3? 2. Close. So guys, gals, now we know the graph starts down here somewhere. Put a dot. See, I always put a dot and just go for it. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. If you gotta go, just go with the flow. Okay. Voila. And we're gonna label this as 2 pi, as always. And so on, so on. Pi. Here is your supernode question for today. You're gonna work backwards. Good luck. Oh, good question. Range. The range. Range. To look at the range, look at these two. Bikram, what's your range going to be? Yep. Y is greater than or equal to -2. Voila. Guys, gals, here is your question for today. This is your supernode question. Earn your card status. Because some of you said, so I did so bad on the test, I need those cards to help me win. Your range is going to be from -13y to 10. This is going to be a sine graph. Okay. There is no reflection in the sine graph. Your task is create the equation that has this property. Good luck. You can go forwards easily. What if I give you something to work backwards? You come up with your own equation given this set of data. Guys, I'm going to pause it. I'm going to walk around soon. And if you're lost on this, the best way to do this is a quick sketch. Okay. Again, I know this is sine graph. You can't really label anything yet. So let's just draw a simple sine graph. And I know there's no reflections. Go up, down, up. That's it. Now we're going to try label. It says my range is from -13 to 10. So this is -13. This is 10. I've told you a really useful formula. I said anytime you want to find the middle number, you use the average formula. Take these two numbers, add them together, and you will get this magic number in here. That's one formula you need to know by heart. So this number is -1.5. This is your vertical displacement right there. That's your vertical displacement. That's your center line. Now, the question is, what is this distance right here? 11.5 is correct. So when we put it together, y equals to 11.5 sine minus 1.5. Oh, I forgot there's a theta. Guys, gals, there's the classic exam question you'd be given. Is it that hard? No, not really. It all depends on how well do you understand each number. And your work for on the weekend. That's it for today. Sorry?
11.5 sine theta minus 1.5.
I add these two numbers together. 10 plus negative 13 divided by 2. Page! Guys and gals, you're done. 66. I want you to do number. Well, the thing is, you won't be able to do a lot of numbers. Because there's still things I have to teach you that I haven't had a chance to teach you yet. You're going to do the first. Only left side equation. Take a look at page 66 right now. I'll explain to you what left side equation represents. The right side is all about graphing. The left side is all about equations. Now, all I want you to do is calculate amplitude. Center line. What is that center line? Min, max, and range. Do not work with period yet. You're not ready for that. Okay? On Monday, I will show you how to find your period. You're not there yet.
What's min?
Min is the lowest value. Negative 13.
Do we do all the questions left side?
Left side. Fair game. Yep.
Wait, like the left side.
So, which is, except the graph. So look at the left side.
So the whole left side.
All it is just the equations part. Amplitude, center line, min, max. Don't do period. There's a period in there that you didn't find. I haven't taught you how to work with yet. Okay? And that's a number in front of x. So for now, guys and gals, that ends your lesson. 30 minutes.